What's up? What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Jessica and I talk about frugal living, fitness, motivation, and minimalism. In this video, I'm actually responding to a challenge by Kate Kaden. I'll link her video below, but she's actually challenging anyone who wants to respond to her challenge of how to fight frugal fatigue. So I'm going to share with you how I fight frugal fatigue, or if you're in frugal fatigue, how to get out of it. To begin with, I live paycheck to paycheck, but in a good way. I think of each paycheck as one step closer to my money goals or a dream I have. I have investments and savings, but I live paycheck to paycheck in a good way because I feel like that's one step forward to those goals. While I'm in between those paychecks, sometimes I feel like I'm just waiting around for my dreams and goals to happen. Mind you, I've already completed a lot of goals, a lot of money goals, but I'm always ready for that next milestone. So the first tip I have is to think of paycheck to paycheck in a good way. Every time that paycheck hits for me, I'm re-energized. I'm whatever fatigue I was in, boom, that paycheck hits and I'm good to go. I just gotta make it to that next paycheck. And I say it that way because once I get my paycheck, every dollar has a name, remember? So I'm putting all my money to the allocated spots, even like fun money in my own pocket. So I've got that too, but all the money's where it needs to be, and then I'm just like waiting. I'm just waiting for the next paycheck to hit. I've got my fun money, I've got everything I planned to do or get or save or invest for that paycheck, but then that waiting period where I'm just taking it day at a time, that's when that fatigue kind of sets in for me. And in Kate Kaden's video, she talks about the why, and knowing your why is the foundation of everything I do. Not just my financial goals, but my motivation to work, my motivation to appreciate what I have, the dreams and goals I have set in place. It's the reason for everything. So I don't want to say it goes without saying, but the why is already my foundation for what I'm doing, and getting it day at a time, day by day. It's already there. So if you want to know what my why is, I've linked some videos up above. That's my why. In short, it has to do with my father. And a lot of our whys have to do with a stressful or traumatic or sad period of time. So that's the baseline to get us motivated to get mad at that debt that we were in, right? I try and focus on some positive motivation when I'm in frugal fatigue, and that positive motivation keeps me going. Part of that was paycheck to paycheck in a good way. Another thing I do to fight frugal fatigue is to practice contentment. So appreciate the things I have. I'm healthy, I'm not in debt, I've got my investments flowing. I just look back at how far I've come, and that kind of helps me get centered and refocused on where I'm going. Currently, a thing that's tempting for me when I'm feeling frugal fatigue is to buy gym clothes. So like just workout shirts and leggings and stuff. So I budget for it. If I know that feeling's gonna come up, I'll work it in my budget. So I'll be like, okay, I'll give myself 20 bucks to get a t-shirt if that urge comes up. If I don't want a t-shirt, then I'll put it into savings. Another thing with this whole issue is that I'm trying to refocus on my fitness motivation. So I think that workout clothes will motivate me, but that impacts my financial goals, right? So that frugal fatigue sets in, and I have to justify it somehow. So like, okay, if I want to spend this money, I have to work it in my budget. But if I don't have the money for it, I've got to practice that contentment and look at what I've already got. So kind of like Kate Kaden mentioned in her video is to, okay, spend it, see how it feels. So I'll put it in my budget, spend the money, and then see how it feels. Was it really worth it? Sometimes when I buy that item that I wanted and budgeted for, I wish I would have put it in savings. And it wasn't really an impulse buy. It was something that I thought would motivate me for another goal. So I did that, I checked that box. It was kind of like a mental thing, like, okay, check that box, moving on. It made me realize that when that feeling comes up again, I know that I would rather save that $20 than buy the t-shirt. Because I already bought the I'm wearing it. This is the t-shirt. And it's in my favorite color of clothes, but I wish I would have put it in savings. Another way I fight frugal fatigue is to look at my bank accounts. For my bank accounts, I have the checking account, and then I've got the sinking funds, and then I've got my investments. When I'm feeling frugal fatigue, I just look at how much I've been able to save and invest, and it's kind of like, do I want to mess this up? No, okay. I'm good. Another thing that keeps me motivated with being frugal and fighting frugal fatigue is to think about the alternatives. What if I didn't have this savings and this investment? What would happen if I didn't have these savings and these investments and things like that? It's just so hard to think about because I've had emergency fund issues come up. I've had to buy a new metal roof. So I don't know what I would have done. Like, I wouldn't have enough on my credit. I wouldn't have enough on a credit card to buy those things. So thankfully I saved up for them. I had the money in my accounts when those emergencies came up. I had an emergency where my dog got bit by a snake and I had to take him to an emergency vet on a Sunday. I had the money, so I didn't like stress about it. I didn't have to worry about it. So the alternative for me would be, I would be living in fear. I would be worried all the time. I'd be thinking about what ifs all the time. Or even worse, I would just be thinking I've got a credit card so it's fine, which is even worse. So when I think about the alternatives, it's like a sombering, nope, don't want to do that. So that also keeps me on track. I don't want to give up. I budget. I live paycheck to paycheck in a good way. I'm thankful for what I have. If I really think I need to buy something that I don't need, I budget for it. And I think of that money taking away from my savings. So when I spend that money, like Kate Kaden said, I think, okay, was it worth it? Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. Every case is different. But yeah, if you really think that purchase is gonna make you feel better, try it and go from there. I have a competitive spirit, so I'm doing this challenge, but also I think, how can I compete with myself to meet these money goals and live a good life and live a happy life, meet these money goals? And I think it's all about balancing what you need to be saving and investing for and giving yourself room to enjoy life. I know Kate Kaden's mentioned this a lot of times, but don't let your life pass you by while you're trying to save for a new car or save for a new to you, like a used car. Don't let life pass you by. You missed that concert and you haven't been to a concert in forever because you're trying to save for something. It's important to save and invest, but it's also important to enjoy your life. So keep that balance. It's okay to go to that concert or go to that event or buy that $20 t-shirt. It's okay. So that was my response to Kate Kaden's challenge for how to fight frugal fatigue. And I have an announcement. I'm in the Air Force, and the other day they informed me that I'll be moving from Alabama to Colorado Springs. So I'm currently stationed at Columbus, Mississippi, and I'm going to be assigned to the Air Force Academy for a new job. I was not expecting this. I'll talk about this more in another video, but I was expecting to be at my current assignment for another year. I'm moving. I'll explain how I move. It can be stressful. I just say it was surprising because it's the shortest assignment I've ever had. I was expecting to be at Columbus for another year. So I'm currently deployed. I'm gonna be getting back and then out processing for my move this summer. So a lot of change happening. I made a checklist for the apartments I'm looking at. I don't know if you can see that. It's not done yet, but I just wanted to announce that in this video because it was the next video I was making, but very stressful, and I'm heartbroken, frankly, to leave Alabama. That's the military, that's the Air Force, so I'm gonna make the most of it. And everyone keeps saying, oh, Colorado Springs is beautiful. Yeah, but your family isn't there. More videos on that to come on my channel. Let me know what you think about how I fight frugal fatigue. If you do these same things or anything different, challenge continues. And challenging anybody else who wants to make a video about that. Don't forget to like and subscribe this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.